somebody who was very helpful in advocating for funds, our Representative Bobby Fennell. City Councilor and Chief of Staff for Tom McGee, Councilor Brendan Crichton. City Councilor Hong Net. City Councilor Buzzy Barton. And City Councilor and EDIC Board Member Rick Ford. A few more people we would like to recognize. Our liaison to the Commonwealth for this project from DCR, Mike Driscoll. Where is Michael? Mike, stand up. Thank you. Somebody who's not here and has been a big loss for the city of Lynn, and really was an advocate for this project, our State Rep Steve Walsh. Thank you. I'd like to introduce the EDIC Board of Directors. We have Tyrone Brown, Magnolia Contreras, Dominic Ferrari, and my pal who's not here, I don't see him, the chairman of the EDIC Board of Directors. He's been on the Board of Directors. Oh, here he is. He's hiding on us. He's been on the Board of Directors since the beginning in 1977, the Executive Director of the Housing Authority, Charlie Gay. Last but not least, Ted Smith, who's on the EDIC Board of Directors. We had project meetings every other week for the past almost 8 years. He missed one because he was in Panama, so we let it slide. Ted Smith. I also wanted to give a personal thank you to the former Lieutenant Governor Tim Murray. He was instrumental as chairperson of the Seaport Advisory Council. So wherever Tim is, thank you for all of your help. We want to thank Menino Construction. I know Nick Sr. is here. They did a lot of the construction work. Thank you so much, Nick. I wanted to personally thank the Seaport Advisory Council members that are here. Thank you so much for all of your help. To the Nolan family, who is the Boston Harbor Cruise Company, which operates the ferry. They've been wonderful. Thank you so much. Almost done. Sea and Shore, Mike Lally. He's the contractor. He's in the back of the room. Did all of this work. Mike, thank you so much. Big thank you to all the EDIC staff that put this event together. They did an awesome job. Thank you so much. And the last person I wanted to recognize from DOT, not here today, she was our connection to DOT. Amanda Clem had a baby boy Friday. So Amanda, thank you. So I wish, thank you so much for being here. And I wish that we could take everybody that's here right now and go back in time to 8 years ago and right on this spot. If you could have seen what this place looked like 8 years ago, there were weeds as high as me, there were sinkholes, the wall behind me had crumbled into the sea, and we had a dream. And I'm so proud to say that today that dream becomes a reality. And our goal, thank you, Bob. Our goal, the City of Lynn and EDIC, was to develop the waterfront. And 8 years ago, we had two projects. We had the power lines to be relocated, and we had the commuter ferry project. And both of those are completed, and both of those are investments in our future. And in fact, I was talking to the governor a moment ago. In the past 60 days, there have been two major sites that have come under agreement. The Beacon site, which is right over here, 15 acres on the water, is under agreement for mixed-use development. And up the street, the gear plant from GE, 60 acres is now under agreement for mixed-use development. And that's a direct result of all of the hard work that's going on between the city and the state and the federal government. So today we celebrate our dream that is a reality. And as we look out to my right, which would be your left, this dirt area, That is our next dream, because we envision a two-story building there, a two-story terminal, and the first floor would be for the commuters, and the second floor would be a restaurant with this beautiful view. So that's our next dream that hopefully we'll be celebrating in the very near future. So with that as a backdrop, our first speaker, she was instrumental in transferring this land to EDIC, for paying for the electrical work, which was very expensive, for the repavement of Blossom Street, for authorizing a $4 million bond, which paid for the relocation of the power lines. She's been a longtime advocate for the commuter ferry, our mayor, Judy Flanagan-Kennedy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Word of advice to all, never wear a flared skirt when out for events. Welcome. This is a day, as Jim said, we've waited years to see come to fruition, and here we are, complete with the ferry. And this is just wonderful news for the city of Lynn. It's wonderful for our transportation options, wonderful for our commuters, and wonderful for us as a city to have that connection directly to Boston without having to go through our usual routes of 1A and 107, and I think we can all be grateful to have an alternate for those two routes. I want to thank the governor for coming to join us in this special day, the legislative delegation for all you've done to make this day a reality, and to all of those who worked very closely at the state and federal levels. Jim thanked you all. I want to add my thanks to all of you for helping us to achieve this, and welcome. It's great to be here. Bye.
Thank you, Mayor. Next up, our next speaker, quite frankly, we would not be here today without his support. He funded $2.5 million in a Moore grant, which helped move the power lines. He funded not only 100% of phase 1 of this project, but 100% of phase 2 as well. He's been a longtime supporter of the commuter ferry, and more importantly, he's been a longtime supporter and friend to the city of Lynn, our governor, Deval Patrick.
It's a great day for the whole North Shore, in fact. And Jim, I want to thank you for your leadership and all of EDIC, and your wise chairman who is standing in the sun over there while the rest of us shiver and some of us hold our skirts down. Madam Mayor, it's great to be with you. I want to acknowledge the partnership and indeed the leadership of Chairman McGee and Representative Fennell and the members of the delegation. And I have to tell you, I feel really lucky, you should too, that our Secretary of Transportation is Rich Davey. And Rich, I appreciate so much your leadership. I know you've been waiting for this a long time, and this is a great thing. It's a great convenience. It's an attractive way to come and go from Boston. But I want you to understand that the connection between this project and those developments that Jim talked about and others that will come is what is so key here. We invest in infrastructure not for its own sake, but because it catalyzes private investment and improves quality of life. And if we do it right alongside our investments in innovation and education, because this is how, in my view, and I think in ours, we govern not just for the next election cycle or the next news cycle, but for the next generation. That's why Massachusetts is back in the leadership business today, because we have consistently done this in partnership with the legislature, with local leadership like your mayor and city council members, with a great team of engaged business people and not-for-profits who are thinking hard about what kinds of things we can do together to lift us all up. That's why I'm excited to be here and glad you're here too. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker has also been a partner in this project. When we came, it was a 3-phase project, and we came to the final phase, which was an expensive phase. He stepped forward with the funding. He's been a longtime advocate for our ferry, Secretary of Transportation, Rich Davey.
Beautiful.
informed, Chairman McGee was working on me on 9 of the projects when I was sitting next to him, Governor. So I think once again, this trip to Lynn has cost us. So first of all, thank you for having me here. This is a great day. Governor, it is a ball working for you because you get it. Transportation is has always been part of what you've wanted to do, and we're only here because of Governor Patrick. So thank you very much, Governor. Thank you for hosting a board meeting today, which I snuck out of to come here, and to Bob and to Tom. I came up to visit Lynn, I think, 3.5 years ago, and after having some pancakes, care of Bob Fennell, working me, they brought me over here to a rocky area, nothing going on, and some guy, literally some guy fishing. And Chairman McGee said, this is what this can be, and this is the vision for Lynn. And went back to the governor and said, let's make it happen. So that's why we're here today. Tom, you've been a friend. You have pushed so hard for transportation across Massachusetts, not just in Lynn, which is what I love about you. We're so happy to be here today. And what I mostly love about boats, by the way, folks, occasionally things don't run on time at the DOT, occasionally. But no one ever complains about a late boat because they serve beer and wine on the boat. And in fact, as you will probably find, it was what they do in Hingham. On a nice Friday afternoon in the summertime, they actually ask the captain to do a couple of spins around the harbor before they get in. And so enjoy this. It is a great investment. It's a great way to get around Massachusetts, and we're thrilled. There's so much going on in Lynn. This is the beginning. Thanks for having me. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was 2006, I had started at EDIC, and it was my 3rd day in the job, and Senator McGee walked into my office, and the first thing he said to me was, what do you think about ferries? And I kind of gave him a weird look, and he said, well, we're going to go on a couple of trips, and he took me to Hingham, and he took me to several different places, and really, from his passion, which was so contagious, it was his dream, it was his vision, it's his project, and I can't tell you what a strong advocate he's been and a good friend. I'd like to introduce our favorite Senator, Tom McGee.
Thank you very much, Jim, and pretty exciting to be here with all of you today. Here, as the ferry begins on Monday, I'll be on the 8 o'clock. 6:30 is a little early for me. But it's so many people to thank, and EDIC, the mayor, the council, DCR, Secretary Davey, but I think the governor really kind of nailed it when you talk about what it means to invest in infrastructure and transportation. I've got a chance to see it around the state, and it really is linked to our future. It's linked to our economic growth and opportunity. And being here with the governor and thinking about what we've been able to do over the last 8 years and the things that have transformed our city, whether it be the power lines being moved or the marina investment we just made or the $20 million investment that was waiting since 1999 was not approved to move forward until Governor Patrick became governor. That would be finished in May. Manning Field. Those investments make a difference for our communities. Those are transformative. And it does not only mean that you make those investments, but it means that those investments lead to economic growth and private investment, and we're going to see that here in Lynn. So it's something I've thought about for a long time. We have a beautiful waterfront here, and I think many times we drive by this Lynnway and don't recognize the real unbelievable resources we have in this community. That's changing because of so many people that are here today, so many people that have a vision. And I was talking to Ted Smith a little bit earlier, and we were talking about I think when I really kind of connected with me and clicked about what a ferry from Lynn to Boston would mean, I think we thought about maybe 15 years ago, was it, Ted? He said, yeah, your kids were 1 or 2 years old. He picked me up at the house, and we were down to New London, Connecticut, to take a 2-hour ferry ride to Martha's Vineyard, and riding on that ferry going 50 knots out to the island and saying, why can't that happen here in Lynn? And Ted and I think, kind of light went on for me. And thankfully, there were so many other people that came together with us to make sure that vision for our future together came together here. And this is the first step in seeing a 300-acre future development here that's going to transform not only Lynn, but is going to transform the North Shore. And we're here to be a part of it. We're all going to work together to make sure that this is the first step. And to those that are going to be on it on 5 days and a few trips, I know the next goal, well, it's not done. It's 7 days, year-round, Harbor Island trips, all kinds of opportunity, with a restaurant here that give you lunch or dinner when you get back on the ferry from Boston. So let's continue to work together, because this is a great community, and with all of us working with a great vision for our future, Lynn's going to continue to be the best place to live in the Commonwealth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. Save the best for last. He's been a partner seriously from day one. 2007, we went to his body for funding. We brought him down here. My job was to sell him on the site. It was January 3rd of 2007. It was about 2 degrees. The wind was howling off the ocean, and he would agree to anything at that point. So, I thought it was smart. I'd like to introduce the Executive Director of the Seaport Advisory Council, our friend Elisa.
Good afternoon. I'd just like to tell you how happy and pleased I am to actually be able to see this vision, because on that January day, I couldn't see anything. They kept saying, if you look out here closely, you can see this all coming together. And I kept going, okay, what did the Lieutenant Governor Murray get me into here? And he kept saying, there's a vision. And but we stayed with him. So I also want to say again, thank you to Lieutenant Governor Murray, because he stayed with it. And he, following the directive of our leader, Governor Patrick, Seaport Council has continued to work on projects that you don't see right away. But because we are able to stay the course, because of leadership of Secretary Davey and people who know that this coastline of Massachusetts is a place that people will come to, are coming to, that we as a body continue to do these projects. So, as the governor said, the whole North Shore. But right now, particularly the city of Lynn, we are the beneficiaries of a vision that started with our chairman, McGee, and then the mayor, and then, of course, Jim and his group, who, by the way, do not get in a tussle with them about money. They will never let you go. But we've gotten this done, and I think the benefits are not just the residents of Lynn, but the whole coastline of Massachusetts, 1,500 miles, and we're still trying to connect them, and the Secretary of Transportation is making ferries available on the South Shore and the North Shore. We're now having boats come in from Rhode Island. Massachusetts is the place to be because of our leadership. I thank my bosses, I thank you for your vision, and I thank all of you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Louis. That concludes the speaking part. 2 quick announcements. The ferry starts Monday. It's 30 minutes from Lynn to Boston. And I can tell you this, the first week, it's free. So we're hoping that it's packed.
No traffic either.
No traffic, Secretary, that's right.
How much is the parking?
Free parking, thank you, Senator. Free parking. Everything's free. That's right, first week. And what I'd like to do is ask the speakers who spoke here today to come down by the boat. We want to get an official ribbon cutting. And once that is done, I invite the public to please join us on the boat. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.